The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised. Why would you mess with Portia? Even I don't do that, and I'm... So good evening. You've come to talk to your boy Twitch. Once again. Been a rather eventful week. Seems little Miss Destiny was tied up with Delilah being, from what I understand, a cupbearer. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a cupbearer, but it caused her to not be home during some of the other events that went on. Because I've heard rumors that Miss Jackie was seen visiting Cedric, while at the same time, Mr. Lamar Cade was seen with a Killian Roche of Clan Ventru, man of dubious lineage. And after that meeting, they both took a trip out to Winneca's tent city. I wonder what Cedric could have told them that would cause them to take a visit out to Winneca. Very odd. Little Miss Eleanor, she took a trip to go visit Ben. Now, I happen to know Ben. It's very good to see her. But you know what they say. Be careful accepting gifts from a thin blood. And it seems good old Roscoe finally found a lead for the coterie about where they could get One-Eyed K. Very good. And finally we come to Mr. Jonathan Berkley. It seems my agents say he went to the Succubus Club on a Sunday when it's not busy. Nothing bad ever comes of that, now does it? I see dark times ahead. I see danger coming. And I see a game being played. This is your boy Twitch. We'll talk next week. And then, if you don't go to the club, that's not her. That's not where you want to be. Good evening and welcome to McStabber Studios' Windy City After Dark. I am the storyteller, Shanky McStabber.
And I'm Relyn Dare, also known as Mama McStabber in Twitch chat, and I am playing Jacqueline Durand of Clan Ventru. Her friends call her Jackie.
I'm Gavin, and I play Lamar Cade of Clan La Sombra, a.k.a. Clan I'll Fuck You Up.
I'm Mandy, also known as Lifesaber, and I play Destiny Star Jones.
I'm Miriam, and I play Roscoe Akers, Clan Tremere.
I'm Lady Merowith, and I play Eleanor Thurston, Clan Malkavian.
And I am Mr. Plunderloot. I play Jonathan Berkley, Clan Tremere.
And when we were last with this coterie of vampires, there was a bit of activity on the part of Jackie and Lamar, and Jackie went and got information from Cedric, and Lamar spoke to Killian finally. Then the two of them took a trip to see Winneca at Temp City. Destiny was unaccounted for, which I'm sure she'll have some explanations of where she went at some point tonight. Roscoe managed to find some information that I think the coterie has been interested in, and Jonathan also got some information of his own. One, there was no One-Eyed K symbols around the Succubus Club or homeless at all in the immediate vicinity. And two, he stepped into a lion's den and got to watch Annabelle and Portia dance. That's basically where we're going to pick up. But first, Chicago. Ask someone to picture the city, and they will have trouble coming up with a concise description. When people think of New York City, they think of skyscrapers, subways, and muggers. When they think of Los Angeles, they think of sun, smog, and traffic. When they think of Detroit, they think of cars, factories, and decay. But for those of us who know, there's only one thing we think of when someone mentions Chicago: vampires. Tonight, we'll tell their story. So to set this evening off, the coterie is meeting up again. It's midweek at the steakhouse. Is there a set time, or does everyone get there about the same time, or somebody already been staying because there are rooms at the steakhouse? Anyone already there waiting?
Destiny would have been already there waiting inside of her private room. Basically, the minute that she got out of Delilah's hands last night, she would have gone to the private room and then not left to try to not have Delilah get her hands into Destiny's business tonight.
Okay. So we know where Destiny is. The rest of the coterie? I assume the rest of you stayed at your normal havens. So who arrives first?
Lamar will do so.
Now, there's no indication that Destiny's there when you arrive, so it appears the place is empty.
Lamar will head into the private room, have himself a seat, and work on his text messages.
Okay. Who's next to arrive? Okay. I give the scene to Jonathan and Lamar. Destiny, you can come out of your private area when you're ready. And Jackie, Roscoe, or Eleanor can show up whenever you want. If Eleanor rode with Jackie, of course, you'll come in together. But that's up for you two to decide.
How well soundproofed are the private rooms from the main area?
I would say that the main rooms in the private area are not that soundproof, so that you can tell if somebody's in the outer area. You do have a rather soundproof conference room where you can have discussions for privacy purposes, but I'd say that the rest of it, to make sure that people understand when somebody's in the main area, is not that soundproof.
Okay, so from my private room with my heightened senses, I can probably hear what's being talked about out there?
Yes, you can.
Okay, cool.
So I turn it to Jonathan and Lamar.
Good evening, Lamar.
Evening, John. How's it going?
It's doing well. Find anything out about One Eye K?
No. Had a little something else come up, so working that angle. But there hasn't been anything else One Eye K related with that. What about you?
Well, apparently, our corridor Primogen has a problem with them, but no problem at the Succubus Club. Not even a hint, a whisper of any homeless there. It's not surprising considering who runs the place.
And I'll come in right about this point. No. Hey guys, Lamar, Johnny, how y'all doing?
Roscoe, how's it going?
Good, good. I thought I heard you guys, you talking about the One Eye K?
Mm-hmm.
When I went exploring the other night, I found out where our guy, the one that homeless had been sitting outside our place watching us. I figured out where he went. There's a place down on the south side. It's a dark alley. I didn't go in by myself because, just one guy. If Lamar had been with me, it'd been fine, but...
You know what streets?
Yep, he gives you a street. It's towards the edge of the bounds of it. It is a rather bad neighborhood, but a lot of the buildings there are empty. So it's a lot of homeless seem to gather in that section of town.
And there were like three 1IK symbols that were all right in that immediate area too. So
okay. So chances are that's where our guy is hanging out.
Yeah. He went back in the recesses of the alley. I couldn't really see what's going on back there, but he wasn't alone. There were several other people back there with him.
Jackie and Eleanor come in at this time. Oh, good evening, gentlemen.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Anyway, looks like we're all here, except for Destiny. She said
Destiny, are you here, darling?
You don't need to yell. She comes out. Hi,
Hi.
everybody.
You're all in one piece.
Yeah, here I am in one piece. So, the Succubus Club?
What is this?
There are no homeless there, but Abigail has a problem with them, apparently.
Abigail? Who?
You mean Annabelle?
Or Annabelle, excuse me. Annabelle.
Oh. Well, it's not surprising. Annabelle's queen bitch and probably pisses off a lot of people. Well, interesting. You went by the Succubus Club?
Just to see if there was presence. Yes. A couple other places too, but just seeing. Considering that, the leader of the Roses had a problem, I wanted to see if, our neonate also had a problem.
Well, at least you didn't run into her. Could have been worse.
Yeah.
I rolled a wit's insight on that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So for you, Jonathan, you're going to roll composure subterfuge.
Wrong one. Oh. That'd be social, right?
It's composure subterfuge.
Yeah, just composure subterfuge. So I'm going to let you can roll a willpower, but you still won't.
You won't beat mine. No.
You won't beat hers. So she was, he is not telling the complete truth.
Not going to say anything. I'll just pocket that.
Yep. It wasn't a giant margin, so I can't tell you
That's fine.
any
I'll just
specifics
pocket
which
that.
part. But
I'll pocket that little insight. Okay.
Okay.
So Annabelle has issues with One-Eyed K in her domain. We are having issues with One-Eyed K in our domain. Of course, Portia doesn't, because, well, look at what and who she is. So I have thoughts on who's setting the fires. Someone's reputation is known to me. Eleanor and Mandy didn't change her name. Destiny may remember I asked one of the first nights we were together if you knew of a Nosferatu named Crook.
Oh, I do recall.
Right.
He's an individual, runs some various, I believe they're called like quick stops type places, maybe bars in them, that kind of thing, at various locations throughout the city. But he is a Nosferatu with a reputation for when he gets bored, he likes to set things on fire.
Oh. That tracks?
And he just picked our domain to.
I think he is an
decide.
agent of this one-eyed K.
Speaking of which, I was just telling the guys before you got here. I tracked the guy who was sitting outside our club down to a place on South Side. Where there were a bunch of one IK symbols, and he was congregating with a bunch of other people.
So,
Interesting.
how do we want to handle that now? Do we want to look into handling that as soon as possible, or do we want to wait and gather more information?
Well, I need to make a little trip. Some personal business to take care of here in the domain. Destiny, would you care to join me?
Sure.
'Cause
Yeah.
we may find one of his representatives and be able to request an audience.
Would we be able to go into your car in the alleyway, just on the off chance that Delilah is anywhere in the restaurant or on the sidewalk, please?
Absolutely.
Really, really getting bored of being a cupbearer.
Oh, that's what she's had you doing.
Yeah.
Oh, we will talk. We will talk in the car. Come.
Wonderful.
Okay, so while Jackie and Destiny were going to the car, now, do you give the coterie a time frame of how long this is going to take, or?
It's not going to take long.
So
We'll be back soon. I just need to get some information.
So the question would be, is the rest of the coterie just going to wait? Or are they going to go about some other business? Because if they're going to wait, I'll let Jackie and Destiny have some scene, and then we'll go back to the rest of the group there so you all can have a scene without them.
No, Lamar wants to check like the general area around the steakhouse to make sure that Delilah's friends didn't follow Destiny here.
That's a very interesting idea. So we'll have you...
Go with them.
So Jonathan and Lamar, what is Eleanor and Roscoe going to do then?
Well, I was going to say going, but then Johnny piped up. So, all right.
You're set with Eleanor?
Yeah.
Okay. So Etienne brings the car across the street. And, of course, he pulls it right up to the exit that you all have. And so you can literally, he opens the door and just waits. You
So we can walk right in.
right from the back end, from your hidden, well, not really hidden, but your back exit straight into the vehicle.
Awesome.
And I need Jackie and Destiny to roll wits awareness.
Can I use my instinct specialty?
Go ahead. Okay. You get in the vehicle and pull out of the alleyway. I will let you two have your scene, then we'll flash back and deal with everyone else's actions. But when you get in the vehicle, Etienne, ma'am.
Take us down to the, drive us around the domain, but we need to end up at the jazz bar this evening. And it needs to be...
Well, the jazz bar's right up the street. How about this, ma'am? I'll go and we'll get on the loop.
Yeah.
Do a little bit of it, come back off and go right back to the jazz bar. Should give you time.
Perfect.
Yes, ma'am.
Allows us to see who might be in the area.
Yes, ma'am. And he puts up the privacy barrier, leaving Jackie and Destiny in the back of the vehicle.
So, do keep your eyes peeled. You're going to recognize them far more easily than I will.
Okay.
But what in the hell has that bitch had you doing?
Nothing really that bad. Just being at her beck and call at all points in time. In the grand scheme of things, it's annoying as It's a very, very, very annoying. She doesn't like it when I swear. Sorry, I normally wouldn't censor myself. She's getting to me.
Well, getting you to use more creative language is a benefit in this situation, because generally speaking, how you will want to present yourself in polite society within our species is to be very witty, cunning, charismatic, and manipulative, not so much sassy and hard-edged.
Yeah. But
So,
at the same point...
At the same point, she's a fucking cunt.
Thank you. But she didn't used to be like that. I don't know. It's been a lot of time in Blue Velvet and just making me run and just get random things at all points in time. I mean, she'll have me in the car and then she'll pull over and have me get out and tell her to get me a coffee, or tell me to get her a coffee. And then she doesn't need coffee. She just has me get out of the car and has me get her coffee. And then I have to call an Uber to get to where she is. That only happened a couple times, but mostly it's just being at her beck and call.
Well, as annoying and demeaning, truly as that is, she didn't make you drink from her, did she?
Not yet.
I was concerned that would be her retaliation.
Yeah, not yet.
Because she was very threatening when she was in the club.
She was threatening.
Oh, absolutely.
I hope that...
she threatened Lamar.
Oh.
In our club.
That won't go well.
Oh, no, don't you worry. I've taken care of it.
How?
I have my ways. I told you I would protect you, Destiny.
Yeah, you're not going to get rid of her or anything,
oh, no,
are
of course
you?
not.
Or
of course I'm not.
I need her because she's the best cover that I have.
I am not going to lay a finger on her, Destiny.
I trust you. What are you going to do? Can I help? Is there anything that I can do to at least kind of
just play along?
Stick it to her?
Just play along.
Okay. I can play along.
Just play along.
I can do that.
That's all.
I just hope that maybe she is done with trying to get her little revenge and I won't have to spend so much time out of the domain and out of my haven. Poor Hyde. I had to have my retainers feed him. He's very grumpy. I should probably bring him here.
Indeed. Would you like for me to watch him when you are called away?
I'd like to not be away from him ever, but at the same point, I really don't want Delilah to know about him. So, would you?
I would.
Do you even like cats?
Cats are
Most
fine.
of us
Usually
don't.
they don't like me, but I can have Etienne and Peter manage Hyde to make sure that he is well cared for in your absence.
Okay. I would really, really appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Do you see anyone that looks like they might be associated?
Do I?
Go ahead. Look at your roll. No.
No, I don't.
How about my role?
For your roll, as you all were getting onto the loop, you did see something kind of odd. struck you as odd at least. You did see a black cargo van getting off the loop as you were getting on
Into the domain.
into your domain now, or heading on the street that would lead to it. Now, the only reason it caught your attention is it was missing license plates.
I would tell Etienne to follow that.
He's going the wrong direction.
Okay, well, he needs to get back in the right direction to tail that.
Okay, it's going to be kind of hard
Well, it
because of
needs
the
to
way the
happen.
design of the loop is quite a bit different. He's following the course of it, but he can try to turn around on the streets and do that. Now we're going to flash to Lamar and Jonathan, who are stepping outside. Lamar and Jonathan can roll wits awareness, or I will also let you roll wits streetwise. Not a gang specialization, no.
Streetwise.
I'll also do Sense the Unseen just to see.
Go ahead. And for the since the unseen, it'll be resolve all specs.
That's first.
We see the curse of Steve Perry has struck Lamar first. 7 dice, 2 successes. Jonathan gets 3 successes on 6 dice. So, either one of you planning to hit that with some willpower? I knew somebody was. 5 successes now for Jonathan.
Let's see, can I still do it?
If not, just roll 3 dice.
Wait a minute. Aren't two of those crits with the little things?
Why, yes, it is. So actually, it goes 7 successes now.
Hmm. And would you say you wanted me to roll for aspects?
It's resolve all specs. So yes, if Lamar wishes to do willpower, just roll 3 dice.
Oh.
And we shall see what happens. Oh, very nice. That bumped Lamar all the way back from 2 to 5. All 3 successes on his willpower dice. Both of you notice there is an individual. Well, Lamar, Jonathan, you recognize an individual that stands out on the street because he's not moving with the crowd on a winter night. Lamar, you recognize this individual as one of them that was sitting at the table.
Mar checks something in his coat. He's going to walk on over there.
Okay. Now we're going to pause right there for you two. We're going to look at Eleanor and Roscoe. Do you have a discussion?
Roscoe,
Eleanor,
I have a question for you.
sure. We never get to talk. Sure,
I know.
Go ahead, ask
we
away.
never do. And this is something that I think you'd like to talk about. And maybe
Okay.
you can help me, and that would be great.
Okay, sure. Fire
It's
away.
about books.
Okay. I know something about books.
You're listening now, right?
Yes, I am.
I was wondering if you knew of any books about chess or chess-like games that might be useful or informative. Also, anything on spirits, higher order spirits, and powerful things like that.
Now, just plain chess, or chess that's being influenced by spirits, or
Do you think there's a book about chess
There-
being
there could
influenced
be.
by spirits? I mean,
could
that would be like really interesting, actually. But I was
Hmm.
thinking more just playing. But
I don't know off the top of my head about the chess books, but as far as the spirits, yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure there's something I've got in my library that we could have a look at if you're interested.
I would be interested if it's no trouble, of course.
Oh, not at all.
And it's not stealing any trade secrets.
No, I'm not worried about that. It was Johnny. I'd have to watch. Just
Yes.
kidding. Just kidding. But no,
Well,
let's go look in my library.
All right.
So you go back, take her to the library section. Now, when you go back to the back of the library part that Jackie has built you the library, and you've just been slowly pulling books that you like from your store to fill up the library here. Because what I think that most of this coterie hasn't really found out yet is you actually run a bookstore. Well, you own it. You
Right.
don't run it. But
I benefit from it, though.
right. As you two go back to look at that, I'm going to flash to Jackie and Destiny. Etienne manages to whip around from following the loop because he's just following the tracks that go above it. He's driving through the intersections of it. He whips the vehicle around a bit, and he follows this van as it comes into your domain. You weren't gone very long. And as you come into domain, you actually see Lamar. Jonathan, were you going with Lamar as you cross the street?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And Lamar, as you're crossing the street, you almost get run over by a black van that pulls up right in front, right beside this guy that was watching. Jackie and Destiny, you're about 4 or 5 cars back as you see somebody, as this van comes up, the door opens and they snatch that guy and throw him in the vehicle.
Like he gets just snatched into the.
You
Snatched
can't
up.
see what's happening. You just hear a guy go, "What the fuck?" And then you hear a door slam. The driver, I will tell you, Lamar, you can see the driver clearly, as can Jonathan. The driver, he's got little scabs on the side of his face, kind of raggedy beard. He's not wearing very clean clothes. And he actually looks over at you. And he grins with his gap-toothed, missing teeth face, just grins at you.
Lamar salutes, and then he'll step back over to the sidewalk. He'll just let it happen.
Okay, now Destiny and Jackie, you both saw that, as did Jonathan. Jonathan, do you take your lead from what Lamar did and just let it happen?
I just go as well.
Now, for you, Jonathan, since you were using Resolve All Specs, you catch the glimpse of somebody crouched down on the building right next to your steakhouse, watching this go down. It is a homeless man, but he's got that shimmer of not being fully there. So you can tell that he's hiding behind kindred powers watching this as it happens. He appears to be using, he's got something in his hand that he's using, but it's obviously nothing major because it's not made him be revealed. And interacting normally would reveal you. So he's doing something, but you can't tell what it would be. Holding something. So Jackie and Destiny, what do you two do? As you see this person snatched. Destiny.
Does she recognize him?
That's what I'm going to find out. Let me have Destiny roll intelligence, and it's always fun to try to figure out what to roll with recalling details. Intelligence awareness. We'll go with that.
No, that was the wrong thing. Why does my clicker not like to click properly?
Yeah,
There we
name
go.
issues.
I do.
2?
Hey!
No, she don't recognize him. Jackie can also roll intelligence awareness, because you know what? I just remembered Jackie reviewed
Saw
the video
video.
footage
Mhm.
because Roscoe pointed him out to her on the video footage.
Oh, no, we going to willpower that.
So let's see. Jackie got 2 successes.
Didn't.
Nope.
Wow.
Don't recognize him. But they're snatched in a vehicle and the van starts pulling away.
It's
Doesn't
not
peel.
one of ours, at least. I don't recognize that.
Yep.
So.
And the tires don't peel. But you did see Lamar salute and then back up. The tires didn't peel. They snatched him and just casually drive off.
If I saw Lamar salute, can I do a wits awareness with instincts on that?
Sure.
Actually, it would have seen me as well because I would have.
Yeah, Jonathan's like, fucking follow the lead.
That's a 4.
4. there's definitely a look on Lamar's face like he recognized whoever it was driving. Now, Eleanor and Roscoe, you're in that back room looking at books on chess, so none of this, you're not even near where the cameras are to watch as it occurs.
Does the back of the van have a license plate, or are both the license plates
No
gone?
license plates at all. Etienne's, ma'am, should I follow him?
No, leave it be.
Mm,
Head to the jazz bar.
I mean, yes, ma'am. He takes you up to the jazz bar. Now we're going back to Jonathan and Lamar before we jump around a little bit more. You're muted.
After the van's pulled off, you know him?
No, but I think I know where that van's going, and better if we don't ask any questions.
Works for me.
And the individual you saw at the top of the building when the van pulled off, he slipped away from the top of the building.
So, guess we should check on Roscoe and Eleanor.
Okay. Now, I'm going to assume Roscoe does have some chess books back there, and it wasn't some odd ploy to corner Eleanor in the library. The answer to your question is if you want one, sure.
Okay. Well, and we're looking down the rows of the books, and it's like, oh, look at this one. It's Bobby Fischer teaches chess. Are you interested in learning about it, or what'd you have in mind?
Well, a little bit. Mostly learning just sort of to understand plays and, to recognize, what different moves are.
Absolutely. This is a great one.
Oh, excellent. May I borrow it?
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, no problem. Now, what was that other book you wanted?
Something on
Spirits?
powerful higher order spirits. If you have anything like that, I mean.
Well, most of my collection is about the occult. So I'm sure we might be able to find something. What do you think, storyteller?
It's your library. If you want to have some books on spirits, you can have some. Now, I'm not going to let you know how good they are until we make rolls later. But if you want to ask if you have them, the answer is, do you?
Well, yes, of course I have them.
You have quite a collection of books.
Well, one of my side hustles is that I do have a bookstore. So I have a
bookstore?
I do. It's so it just gives me access to all kinds of different books.
Oh, can anyone just shop there, or is it like a secret?
It's not a secret. We do have a pretty dedicated clientele. Not a whole lot of people know about the store.
Oh.
And we don't really advertise.
Oh, so it's like a word of mouth.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Only people that you want to come there, kind of?
Kind of, yeah.
That's so cozy.
It's not exactly a Books A Million,
No. No, I feel like that's maybe a little bit too broad for your tastes, even, Books A Million.
Oh, it is. It is. I do concentrate on just certain areas.
Mm-hmm.
Spirits and chess and magic, that sort of thing.
Magic. Folklore?
Lamar and Jonathan,
Yes.
you come in and you don't see Eleanor and Roscoe, though I assume since the library door would be open, you can hear them talking down the hall.
Yeah. And I suppose that, at some point the conversation turns towards lava cake.
Yes. Man, I'd really like some lava cake. Do you want some lava cake, Roscoe?
I do. Yeah, let's get
You
one.
do? We should order some.
Let's do that.
Okay.
So you come out of the room and you call up, and Jerry is upstairs, which is the replacement. Apparently Jackie has removed her ghoul from direct duties here. She had better uses for him. But she found a brand new person named Jerry. And she immediately, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, I'll bring you one down. And she brings
Thank you.
running in with
Thank
lava
you.
cake. And you see Lamar and Jonathan come in from their little trip outside.
Well, Lamar, Jonathan.
Hi, Jerry.
She kind of just waves a little. She's kind of uncomfortable with being overly familiar. you've made sure that you've picked a person to handle this job that is very formal.
Do either of you want anything before she goes?
I'm okay.
I'm fine.
All right.
I'll go behind the bar
Barry.
and grab a bottle and just pour a drink.
And so, Eleanor, do you think are these the kind of books on spirits that you had in mind, or did you want to look through more of them? I mean, you're welcome to go back into the library anytime.
Oh, well, thank you, Roscoe. I think I'd like to start with these and see, since
Okay.
it is sort of a broad question. But I'll let you know.
Okay,
I mean,
if
since
have
you
any-
recommended them.
You're starting
Okay.
a book club?
Oh yeah, got all
Mhm.
kinds of books here.
Do you want to be part of the book club?
You know what? I'd like to be part of the book club.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you just have to sign in blood to get in.
No.
And the first rule about book club is you don't talk about book club.
But no, if you have any questions about any of the books or any questions that come up about the spirits, just ask me. I have a fairly broad knowledge. I mean, nothing specific, but I can probably point you in the right area, right direction.
Thank you, Roscoe. That really means a lot to me.
I'm glad I can help.
So we're going to flash now to Jackie and Destiny over at the jazz club. Now, Etienne pulls up, gets out, opens the door to let you two out. Ma'am, do you need me to wait here, or you want me to go park? I know we're just a few buildings up, but
Wait here. We shouldn't be too long. I just need to go and talk to Mike.
yes, ma'am. I'll leave the engine running and lights on, and
Thank you.
shouldn't have a problem. You've already told your friends that walk here not to ticket me, so I should
Yes.
be okay.
You should be fine. And come, Destiny.
Okay.
And it's midweek. The jazz bar's not weekend packed, but it's got a good business.
And I take her up to the bar with me.
Okay.
And order a drink. What would you like, Destiny?
Nothing.
Nothing? Okay.
Thanks, though.
Mm-hmm. So, Mike, tell me, anything new going on?
Well, nothing big. I mean, there was a guy in here last week asking questions. Not like bad questions. He was looking for a guy by the description of, the really dangerous one that hangs out with you all.
Oh. What does this guy look like? Did he leave a name by chance?
Didn't leave a name. His hair's in a ponytail. Was wearing a suit.
Nice suit? Cheap
Oh,
suit?
yeah, nice suit. Lots of jewelry.
Any distinguishing features?
Not really. I mean, I'd guess he was packing heat of some kind when he came in, but that'd be about my only guess. He kind of struck me as
I lean in and say, you can tell me.
I'm trying to put this, I'm trying to be polite here, and he reminded me of an extra from Sopranos.
Oh, that's too funny. You know, there's all sorts in this city.
Yeah, I told him, I didn't know shit. He left me a 20 and said if I see anything,
So you said
next
this was
time he's
this was
through. A little over a week ago.
a week ago. I know
Yeah.
it's been some time since I've been in. I see that the upgrades look
Oh, yeah,
really
yeah,
well.
they're coming in good.
Yeah.
And the sound system upgrades are going to be in next week, so we'll be able to get some better,
yeah.
lift the music levels a little bit, make it a little better.
Good. And have my distributors reached out to you? Because I know you can get some better deals with my people.
Yeah, they have, and
Okay.
we're working that. We've still got to go through some of our other stock, but when we go to reorder, we'll
Fantastic.
work that way.
Fantastic. Do let me know if there's any other way I can be of assistance
Of
to you.
course. I'll let you know.
All right. And I finish my drink. I leave him the cost of my drink with a hefty tip.
Okay.
And we walk out.
Okay. And Etienne is waiting right there. Ma'am, back to the...
Back.
And you get driven back to the steakhouse. Now, I will flash back to the other four in the steakhouse, and Destiny and Jackie can enter when they're ready. Granted, they weren't gone that much longer for the timeline of things, but Lamar and Eleanor and Jonathan and Roscoe, the scene is yours again. And Jerry has brought you the lava cake.
Oh, thank you,
Awesome.
Jerry.
How's the
Yes,
cake?
ma'am.
How's the cake?
It's good. You want to have a piece more? Oh,
Yeah.
oh
No.
sorry. That's
No,
right.
No.
I'm okay.
I'll have a piece that you would have had if you wanted one.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm confection intolerant, so can't really doesn't agree with me.
It's a shame. So, did you boys have a nice walk?
We did.
Oh,
Did anything happen?
No, not really.
Okay.
that was a very convincing no, not really.
Yeah, nothing happened, but it's just another quiet night in the city. You know how it is.
Which means it's not quiet at all.
You're picking up what I'm putting down.
So this would be about the point I think Jackie and Destiny would come in, because you had to wait for the lava cake to get brought to you and everything.
Yep, we'll come in.
And Etienne, of course, after letting you out, he's going to, ma'am, I'll be back in the garage.
That's fine. Thank you so much.
No problem, ma'am.
And I'll pour 2 drinks. I'll drink one and leave one at the end of the bar, and then I'll for just a moment see where our little friend is, and then drop it. Our guest. stays here.
Your spirit guest,
If I see him,
he's in one corner of the room, just
Maybe
staring
look
at you with undisguised hate.
once I see him, I'll drop it and just leave the drink there. Dead
Okay.
bar.
And Destiny and Jackie enter the room.
Oh, unfortunately, no luck finding any of One-Eyed K's men. But, Lamar, someone in a very nice suit with a ponytail was looking for you about a week ago at the jazz bar.
Ah, all right. Well, that was probably before I went and said hello to him. So, yeah, I got to go back and see him again soon. We'll handle it then.
Okay.
Just a few more days, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Was your trip productive?
And we saw somebody get snatched.
Yeah.
We did. That was interesting.
I mean, it didn't look like any one of ours, so I figured, well, whatever, somebody pissed somebody off. But
You and Johnny didn't see that? I mean, I guess it must have been out, a ways from the steakhouse.
No, it was like right across the street. But I learned in Mexico City when the van drives up and someone gets pulled into it, you don't do any heroic things. You just keep on
nothing
walking.
happened. No.
But he didn't need it,
All
Roscoe.
people you need.
So, did any of you recognize him?
No, Ellen and I were in here. We didn't see him.
Wish that
But he was being watched when it happened.
It was being watched when it happened? By whom?
Someone on the rooftop. As soon as it happened, he was gone. Didn't get a good look.
I think.
Okay, I missed that part.
Think we could look at our security tapes and have a look at them.
Of course.
Absolutely.
And as you pull up the security tape, there's an individual that Lamar and Roscoe, Destiny, and Jackie, the ones who have reviewed that portion of the tape, as one of Delilah's men out front of the building, leaning, just watching the place. And you've watched right as Etienne pulls the car up, and you can't see from without looking. You can see it in the alley, but from where that guy was across the street, you don't think you could see Destiny and Jackie get in the vehicle. You see that vehicle pull off, and he's still watching, and you see Lamar and Jonathan come out. And then you see a black van pull up. And when the black van pulls away, that man is no longer standing on watching your building. Now, as for the person that Jonathan saw. You did see a blur move up. And then your camera got repointed a little bit. And then you couldn't see them anymore. The one that was watching that section of the roof. But I will let anyone who wishes to roll intelligence awareness -3 dice because of the blurry nature of how that works. That is the penalty for anyone using Ghost in the Shell to stay hidden through recorded features. And unlike all the other times you've gotten one, this individual got close enough to the camera, you have a chance to identify him based on intelligence and awareness -3 dice.
I am going to rouse. The rouse gives me 2 dice, yes?
Yes, which means only subtract 1 total, which you can hit the -1 to do.
I got hungrier.
And there's a voice in your head. And it's your mother's voice. You've fallen so far. It's not what I wanted. That's not what I visioned for you. How could you?
I think in my head, I do not speak out loud. I have dealt with this for many, many, many years. Oh, Mother, I have risen far higher than you could ever understand.
At what cost? And then the voice goes silent.
Okay, so I do a -1 on my roll. Got you.
Yep. +2 minus, or +2 -3 equals -1 die. And for anyone else, it's hard to do 3 dice penalty like that, so you'll have to manually roll the dice to do it rather than use the attribute part. But
hang on.
Burning the willpower again. But that's 3 for Jackie. Looking to see what everybody else had. Let's see here. Okay. I will say for you, Roscoe, really the only ones who have a chance to recognize this individual, to be honest, is going to be Lamar, Jackie, and Destiny.
One second.
The other 3 would have no reference for this particular individual. Yeah, I'm not counting that as a beast. Are you? That's a rouse check? Ooh, a failure
Yes.
on your rouse check.
Lamar grows hungry.
Yep, you get hungrier. And it's your sire's voice. Why would you sell yourself out to these tower weaklings? You know they couldn't survive. They're not going to survive. The tower's going to lose. You should be on the winning side. I taught you better than this.
Think to myself, but you didn't see it coming, did you?
And with a growl, the beast goes silent. So,
Or roll 2 dice real quick.
yep. And did Destiny roll, or is Destiny not rolling?
Destiny doesn't have enough dice in
Oh,
those
okay.
2 things to roll.
Okay,
there we
that
go.
works. We shall see.
Nope.
Jackie. That night, when you went to see Wineka, Bobby was the one who changed your camera view. Barely could recognize him, but you recognize him as one of Wineka's.
Okay. I know what that was.
What was it?
Private matters.
Okay.
Now, everyone here knows that one of Delilah's people were snatched. At least all of them that viewed it. So Eleanor and Jonathan are the only ones who didn't recognize the man.
This isn't. This is going to make problems for me.
No, darling, it won't.
He was obviously here to get me. She's going to be pissed.
Hey, whoever else he pissed off, That's on him. Oh, we didn't even know he was here.
Mm-mm.
Right. I didn't
We
see
didn't.
him.
We didn't see him.
You didn't see him? No
No.
one saw him, and so we don't know what happened to him. She should probably keep better track of her toys if she doesn't want them broken.
That is true.
Yeah.
None of our business. We weren't involved.
I reach to Destiny's hand and just pat it softly. You don't have to worry.
I feel like I've done nothing but worry for the last couple of weeks. Which is weird.
I always take care of those I choose to. And I will turn and leave the security room.
You have a security room, but you also have monitors by the bar that you don't even have to leave the main room to watch through. So, any other comments as Jackie has left the room?
I offer Destiny some of my lava cake.
Sure. I'll
Yeah.
take a bite.
Chocolate helps.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
And really, Jackie does look after people.
Yeah.
It'll be okay.
Thank you. Delilah doesn't appreciate when I eat or drink around her, so I've been kind of avoiding it. But she's not here.
Oh, yeah,
She-
she's not fucking here.
Can't see me. So
Yeah.
this is fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got a
Yeah,
whole
please.
bathtub
I'll
of cake.
take 5 bites, please.
Excellent. Here you go.
And she takes 5 bites. Very quickly in rapid succession, just shoves the cake in her mouth.
Very good.
Lamar will look at Roscoe. Hey, Roscoe's still watching the tape, right?
Yeah, I was still in there.
I don't know if you know how to do it, but maybe we should Watergate Nixon that shit.
Really?
Yeah, just,
It doesn't seem like it's anything out of the ordinary. Is there something there you don't want anyone to see?
Well, just in case someone comes asking what happened to the guy, I say,
I
if that part of the footage just mysteriously disappears.
You mean if I press this button, the delete button here, and it
Oh, damn.
And the
I didn't
video,
know I didn't know my stuff did that.
and the video
Oh.
disappeared. Deleted off the drive.
Ain't that a bitch?
yeah. I mean, you got to stay away from this tech equipment, Lamar. I mean, who knows what's going to happen?
I'm going to go back in the other room right now.
Okay, I'll come with you. I think we're done.
And you go back in the other room, and as the coterie comes back in the other room, the light flickers.
Okay, that wasn't me.
No, that wasn't you.
Was that our notification light?
Yes.
Do you call up to ask Jerry?
I will.
Ma'am,
Yes.
somebody just came by and dropped off a letter.
For whom?
Said he told me Jackie and Lamar.
Thank you. I'll be up to collect it.
Yes, ma'am. He just dropped it off. Said you'll know what it's about.
Perfect. Appreciate it, Jerry.
Yes, ma'am.
And I will rouse for Blush of Life as I am going amongst the living.
Okay.
Good, I succeeded on that one. And I will head upstairs.
And you head upstairs, and Jerry is sitting at a side table right there where she generally waits because she's not. Her job at the steakhouse is very odd. It's highly specific in nature. And she hands you just a small, nondescript security envelope.
Perfect.
He was, I don't know, mid-20s, dressed khakis, button-down shirt, parka. I mean, I can't really say, very nondescript-like, but
Okay.
he came in and dropped this off.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I've been awaiting some news.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And before I go downstairs in the stairwell before entering, I will read the letter.
Just has a couple words on it. 2, as a matter of fact. Problem solved.
I put the letter back in the envelope.
Okay.
And enter Speakeasy.
You're back in your little speakeasy section.
Just some correspondence.
Business partners?
Yes.
The good-looking one?
Average.
A bad-looking one.
Average.
Oh.
Average.
The average looking one.
Yes. Well, I don't always work with pretty people. I do enjoy when I get the opportunity to, but
But where's the fun in working with average looking people?
sometimes they're very useful.
I mean, it's got to be the two sides of the coin, the two extremes. Those are the coolest people to work with.
I work with some of those too. I mean,
Did Destiny see the envelope?
No, you don't see it at all.
It was she put it in her pocket or her bag. Okay.
Yeah.
She tucked it completely out of sight.
Mm-hmm. So.
So, with Jackie getting that message and Lamar and Jonathan stepping outside and seeing a snatch and grab. A very well executed snatch and grab. Destiny wondering what the hell's going on, and Eleanor and Roscoe visiting the library. This is where we're going to go to our first break. So, enjoy the break music, and we'll be back in 10 minutes, everybody.
Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. I've always been the hunter, nothing on my tail. But there was something in you I knew could make that change. To capture a predator, you can't remain the prey. You have to become an equal in every way. So look in the mirror and tell me, who do you see? Is it still you, or is it me? Become the beast, we don't have to hide. Do I terrify you? Do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. So embrace the darkness, that will help you see that follow me. We are the lions in the world of lions. We are the predators, the hunters, the hunters, the hunters. Become the beast. We don't have to hide. Do I terrify you? Do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? My soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. My soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin to burrow within. Do you burrow within? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Introduce myself, though I fear you've heard my name, and that you've heard the story of Countess Bathory. History is told by the victors, heroic warriors, and mad kings. Will you hear my story from the lips of Bathory? They call me Let's-King Demon, Queen of Hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins, beautiful, drinking the blood of virgins. Who is she really, blood countess? Who is she really, your black Bathory? I was very wealthy and powerful, a widow with political rivals keen to destroy me and take my property. My plea was never offered. All my confessors were all tortured, or how they destroyed me for my property. They put me up, shut me up, shut me up, put me up, put me up, shut me up, shut me up, and told a story of a bitch called Bathory. Let's sucking demon, queen of hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins, to keep me beautiful, drinking the blood of virgins, to keep me youthful, the blood countess. Who is she really? Who is she really? Blood countess. Who is she really? Ajabet Bathory.
Welcome back. Before the break, snatch and grab, baby, snatch and grab. And Jackie got an interesting 2-word message. Destiny's confused. And the rest of the coterie is actually probably pretty confused too. Because for there being a snatch and grab in your domain, 2 of the members are awful blasé about that situation. So we're going to pick up with this scene. I turn it to the players.
Destiny, may I have a word with you for a moment in the conference room?
Yeah, sure, of course.
Perfect. Lamar, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Okay.
So 3 of you go down there. I'm going to give them that scene first, and then if Roscoe, Eleanor, and Jonathan have anything to speak of when they're gone, we will flash back to that in a second.
As I'm letting Destiny head down that way first, and as she enters the room, I will slide the envelope to Lamar.
Lamar's going to let Jackie and Eleanor
Destiny.
into the room. I'm sorry, Jackie and Destiny head into the room, and then he's going to take a look at the letter in question.
Problem solved.
He smiles and he'll tuck that into his coat, and then he will enter
Okay.
a
And
conference room.
you shut the door behind him. Now, for the other 3, of course, this conference room was deliberately made to make it impossible to hear out of it or into it. So I will give it to Jackie, Lamar, and Destiny first.
I want you to understand something about me, Destiny. I take threats to those I have chosen to protect very seriously. And Delilah threatened to basically, what I interpreted was possibly blood bond you, take away your agency, basically make you her slave. And she threatened to have Lamar killed.
Okay. You told me that she threatened. Why are we in the conference room?
Because Delilah is no longer a problem.
But you see, that's actually a problem. If she's no longer a problem and I'm taking this the way that I think it needs to be taken. Because... Fuck. Lamar, shit. Jackie, I hadn't told Lamar yet.
I haven't told him anything.
She was my only cover. She was my best cover.
Irrelevant. She had enemies. And I wasn't involved in any planning of said attack on her. But I imagine that it was set up in a way that will not point to Kindred at all.
Oh, okay. I mean, if it's not going to point to Kindred, where is it going to point? Because I'm Kindred. Is it going to point at me?
We have aggressions looming over our head with lupine. Chicago is not a safe place right now.
Is she going to magically reappear 10 years down the line after this war is over like she did last time? Is that what's going to happen?
I'm fairly certain not.
No.
I can't look over my shoulder.
No, you can't.
If I'm going to be successful.
You can't.
For the rest of my...
What you can do is focus on your social skills. Make sure that when you are in polite company that you behave as a Toreador would. Do not use your Nosferatu gifts in polite company. Overtly.
Okay.
And we maintain what we've been maintaining.
Okay. Yeah.
And it is oh so sad that your sire has met a tragic end.
What are we supposed to do when our sire dies?
Depends on the attachment.
Okay.
So tell me, how were you projecting your attachment to her while serving her?
I was projecting that I was ecstatic that she was back, and I was
then
incredibly
you will be
excited to be there.
And angry.
Okay, I can do that.
However, I believe you will need to speak with Waneka soon.
Why?
I had the pleasure of speaking with him.
Okay.
You should speak with him soon.
Did Waneka do this?
I doubt he did. Remember, Kindred didn't do this. Lupine did. I'm sure. We will soon find out, I'm positive.
Okay. All right. I guess, did you set this all in motion? Did you set this all in motion for Lamar and I?
Yes.
Jacqueline Durand, you are one scary bitch.
Indeed I am. It is a good thing to have me on your side.
Indeed it is. Lamar. Jacqueline knows. Eleanor knows. She wasn't my sire.
Given some of the math I did, I figured as much.
Yeah. Yep. During the whole fight, pissed off a couple of the Sabbat that were there. So.
Well, since you're being forthright, suppose I should do the same in the spirit of this whole coterie thing. The first time Delilah went down, the two individuals that came to see her, I sent them.
You sent them?
Yeah. When I was with the Sabbat, I took care of problems. And Delilah was a problem. And I sent the individuals to see her who saw her. I mean, I had no idea what she was planning to do that night. But when they didn't come back and she didn't come back, the matter was assumed closed.
So you haven't seen either of them since?
No, they ended up a couple of piles of ash, from what I gather.
She knew they didn't embrace you, Destiny. She was going to be a significant threat to you and Martin. The moment
Did she tell you? How do you know that they didn't embrace me?
If she killed them, they couldn't. Come now, Destiny. But you don't have to reveal anything. It is fine. However, you and Martin have been perpetuating a lie. And the moment she decided to tell Annabelle, there is no end to the hell that bitch would rain down on you and Martin.
You're right.
So yes, I set all this up for you, Lamar, and Martin, who you hold dear.
By the way, thank you, Jackie. I do appreciate it.
You are welcome, Lamar.
I was going to do it before. I'll do it again. I don't need her to have my cover. I'm a Toreador.
You're a Toreador.
Shut yourself in for a few nights.
Yep. Have appropriate mourning once you get the news.
Let everybody tell you how sorry they are for what you've lost, and then move on.
Yep. Because you are Toreador.
I'll find something pretty to take my mind off of it, right?
Exactly.
Now we're going to flash to the other three, the other half of the coterie.
Wonder what that's about.
Dunno. Hopefully
see
it's
if
not a
it's,
talking to.
There are some interesting books.
Roscoe is helping me pick them. Want to do some research.
What are you looking into?
Chess and chess-like games and spirits.
Spirits. Any
Spirits.
particular reason?
Not just curious.
So, the books that she has, any of them worth note or no?
They are,
Maybe
as far as your knowledge, the ones that he brought out were, they're good reads. I'm not going to say they're thaumaturgical in nature. I don't think he would share that particular collection he has. But as far as you understand, they are a good source of learning about spirits, what they can do, and what they have done.
Well, that'll be a good start for you.
Oh, you
I
think
can
so?
help you find some other books additionally, after you're done with those, of course.
Oh. Well, all right. I figured that, it's so hard to do research on your own and finding things, so tapping resources that are easy to get to. It's always preferable, especially somebody so knowledgeable.
Of course.
Are you saying you have knowledge of spirits beyond just books?
Perhaps a little. Remember, we do have our little friend that I can see here.
Oh, yes. I've seen him before, too.
Sadly, he looks angrier every time I see him.
Oh. I suppose that's supposed to... And I kind of touched the pockets of my skirt. So it was odd.
And then something hits you. A vision slams into you with a force of pure will. And all you can see is a chessboard. The pieces have moved. But you see the White Knight remove a black pawn from the board. And then your vision returns to you. And as it's returning, all you can hear is and then the amulet is no longer warm.
You okay? What's wrong, Ellen?
What? White Knight, Black Pawn. Where's the book? Oh, shit, I don't want to get blood on it.
Oh, don't worry about that. Go ahead and look it up.
And her vision, though, to you, Eleanor, it just took a second. She was in that state for a little while. And Jackie and Destiny and Lamar come out right at the time when she's coming out of her vision. You just catch the tail end of what she said.
Eleanor. And Jackie rushes over to her and hands her a handkerchief.
Thank you.
Of course.
White Knight. White Knight took the Black Pawn. The White Knight took the Black Pawn.
Okay.
I don't know if it's in this book. I'm going to look it up.
She puts an arm around Eleanor's shoulder and says, it's okay. It's okay.
I'm sorry. I just wasn't expecting it. Can I find anything in the book about that
None
particular
of the things
room?
in the book match the board as you see it at the moment.
Okay.
The opening moves. Because the pieces have shuffled, you haven't seen every turn being taken. But you suspect as it gets closer to the end game, you might recognize some of the traps being set, but not yet.
No. Oh, I don't see it in here.
It's okay. I'm sure it'll come to you.
Yeah.
As much as we don't want it to.
This is very much a beginner's book. Maybe we could look in one of the other more advanced books on chess. Maybe was this far into the game? Did it seem still at the beginning, or what else did you see?
Eleanor, for you, you think maybe 5-6 turns into the game? The pieces aren't all moved from their board yet. It's just a few moves in, but not even close to the end game yet. It was the first piece you see removed from the board, though.
I don't think it's far in, but it's the first piece that's gone. I don't see every move. Sometimes it's skipped, but this is the first piece lost. White's winning for now. If that's winning, I'll have to read the book and find out what counts as winning, unless you've won.
Sounds like it's still pretty early in.
Yes.
Taking out the king is winning.
Well, yes.
Do we think that this has to do with Delilah?
Maybe.
I really don't know.
Hard to say. I mean, a lot of stuff going on in the city right now that we can't see. Could be anybody.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what this game is, except that we're on the board.
The game's got to be control of Chicago. I mean, that's the only thing that you can play for around here.
There was something else.
What else?
What else did you see?
I didn't see it, but I heard a laugh. Not a loud, big laugh, like a dark, like a chuckle.
Really?
You recognize the chuckle, though.
Eleanor does not.
Is this the first time you've ever heard a sound in this type of vision?
Yes. Yes, it's the first time I've heard something. There's usually no sound. It's usually just sight.
What did it sound like? Can you?
If you would like to attempt to recreate it, I will let you go charisma or resolve and performance.
And performance. Where is that? There it is. I'm going to willpower that.
Okay. 1 success so far. She's going to willpower. I bumped it to 3. Okay. You do what you feel is close to it. Destiny, Lamar, and Jackie. Actually, Lamar and Jackie. There's something vaguely familiar with it. Destiny, you can identify. You've heard a laugh very close to that.
swear I think I've heard that.
He sits on a bench in Tent City.
You what? Really? I couldn't quite get my voice deep enough, I didn't think. Who? Destiny, are you okay?
I, gotten a lot of information tonight.
Oh.
I think that I might need to head out soon. I have some questions to ask of someone.
There's, on your security monitor, there's a homeless guy standing. Plain view in the alleyway. The one that you talked to once before, Destiny. The one that sat across the street that night. Told you about One-Eyed K. He is standing outside the back entrance in plain view of the camera. Just standing there.
Do you guys see it? Do you see this, right?
Yeah, we
it's not
see
just
it.
me.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you wish me to go deal with it?
No, I'll go talk to this fucker.
Be polite, Destiny.
Maybe you should go deal with it then.
Then I will.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go calm down for a couple minutes. I'll be right back.
And as she walks past Destiny, Jackie puts her hand on her shoulder and says, take the time you need.
And as you go out your back entrance, the homeless man is standing there.
Lamar's going to go with Jackie.
I'll go too.
Okay. Who else is going? Eleanor, I think, is still making sure the blood that was coming out of her nose is dealt
Stopping.
with.
I'm going to have a sit down.
Roscoe, what are you doing?
I'll stay with Eleanor.
Okay. You're watching Eleanor, comforting her a bit and trying to lend her some support.
Yep. I'm gonna still talk some
Jonathan,
more.
Lamar, and Jackie, you step out, and he is standing there, hands behind his back, doesn't make a move when you come out.
Good evening.
Hello again.
Again?
Well, again.
Hmm.
Probably. Didn't recognize me.
Hmm.
I've been sent to bring you a message.
And what is the message?
When IK demands an audience, he asks you to attend him. You are to go before the king.
Demands.
You do not deny the request of royalty. Royalty does not ask.
And where can we attend this king?
He hands you a piece of paper with an address. Lamar, you know the address. It's outside.
I take it.
It's an abandoned warehouse. You and all your friends are to go. Don't get cute.
Of course not.
Don't think you can bring back up. This is a friendly meeting to discuss some things.
My friends don't demand that I do shit.
Lamar, politeness, please.
My bad.
Well,
My bad.
we can do it this way. Or we can escalate in pleasantness.
No.
All we ask is a meeting.
We will attend your king, as requested.
Very good. Now, my official duties are done. I will tell you, be respectful. Don't get an attitude like you did with me. And you'll walk out of it.
Of course.
If you don't, let's just say the One-Eyed King punishes those who defy his authority.
Thank you. Message received.
Oh, in case you were wondering, the audience is tonight. Failure to appear will cause another building to burn. And there'll be one each night that you do not come see him.
Noted.
I bid you good evening.
Good evening.
And he actually does a formal bow. For you, Jackie, it's a formal court bow.
Mm-hmm.
One
I've seen many times.
in Europe, hundreds of years ago.
And as he walks away, I turn and go back in.
And were we able to see that on the security
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
cameras?
You could see
Okay.
it. You probably could have heard it if you've turned the microphone pickups on, because you have them.
Right, but wouldn't be thinking about that.
Storyteller,
Yes.
would that pattern of behavior lead me to think it is a Ventru running this shit show?
No. No, it would lead you towards a high clan for sure.
Okay.
Ventru, Torador. Tremere are not normally ones for court bows.
Right.
Ventru and Torador are.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that, because I don't want to potentially meta. As I come in, I say, we have somewhere to go tonight.
Where are we going?
We have been invited to attend the One-Eyed King to have a friendly discussion.
Wouldn't necessarily call it an invitation, more of a summons.
Are we sure it's going to be friendly?
As long as we can all remain respectful, and if those who cannot can at least be mindful to keep their mouths shut.
All I'm saying is we should start summoning people to Camp Wish a Motherfucker Would. That's all I'm saying.
Lamar, I understand that. However, if he has the agent I think he has, and he has multiple agents, I'm certain, this is obviously a high clan member running this organization. That asshole out the back door just gave me a full court bow, which I have seen many times in Europe.
Okay, you know what? You're right, Jackie. We'll go. You do the talking. And we figure out what the hell this setup is and if it needs to go any further than it's already gone. I'd really like them to stop burning buildings down.
I would appreciate that as well, and hopefully we can talk out a deal to find out what it is he wanted to know, so that we can no longer have business with each other.
Where are we going? What's his address?
South side,
Outside.
and I passed the card around.
And
And is it
Roscoe,
similar? Yeah.
that is that's right about where you saw them the other night.
Okay. Well, that's where the guy led me from here. So,
Well, I would say you basically knocked on their front door.
yeah, most likely.
Probably why they came calling.
Mm-hmm. Destiny, darling.
Destiny's over in a corner. She has texted the people that run the smoke shop underneath her haven and told them to go and give an entire bag of treats to Hyde.
Okay.
And for them to tell Hyde that Mommy loves him.
Okay. And they respond, of course, that, no problem, Miss Jones.
Yep. Then she's going to stare at a picture of Hyde for about 30 seconds and then finally understand that people are trying to get her attention.
Okay.
So when is our court appearance supposed to be?
Tonight, so we need to leave.
Okay.
Tonight,
There will still be time, I'm sure.
Okay.
They were kind of insistent.
So let us go.
Wait. I'm sorry. I was texting. Court appearance?
Yes. One-Eyed
Jackson?
K
One-Eyed K
has summoned us to attend him in his court. He is obviously a high clan. Because his messenger, the one you had spoke to across the street,
right,
gave me a full court bow.
Does Jackson know that there's someone summoning people to a court in his city?
I don't know. And honestly, if Jackson doesn't know, that's his failing.
Valid point.
So, needless to say, we need to go because we have been summoned this eve to attend the king. And,
I'd rather not have any more burnt buildings.
I will say, it is always fascinating when individuals self-proclaim title like that. My grandsire did it. And I, walk out to the
precautions. What is anyone bringing anything special with them? I assume competence you have what would be reasonable, but I would like to know how heavy this crew plans to go in. And yes,
Lamar's
I'm looking directly at Lamar when I'm asking.
Oh yeah, Lamar's packing. He's definitely packing heat. He's bringing his gun and his knife. He does not have his sniper rifle yet, or he'd bring that too. But he's going to at least go armed.
Destiny has her knife and her cat statue that was whittled from the end of a pool cue.
Anyone else bringing anything special or doing anything prior to going?
I'll bring just my knife and wooden one. I have no idea if we need it, but just in case.
Just double checking something real quick. Just looking. Want to know certain things people might have.
Jackie has absolutely nothing.
Well, that's not Jackie's way.
Mm-mm.
If Jackie's in a fight, things have broken down too far already.
Exactly.
Something has gone wrong.
Something has gone wrong.
Something's gone very wrong.
Jackie mobilizes troops. She doesn't go in waiting in, okay?
So, you meet Etienne.
Mm-hmm.
And Etienne looks at the address. Ma'am, this is not a good place.
I understand.
Yes, ma'am. And you begin to drive. Do you have any conversation on the way, or is it an uncomfortable, oh shit, silence drive? I'm sure Eleanor now feels a little better. The headache has passed from her particular vision.
We must be respectful. If we cannot, please be silent. Those who self-proclaim title like that typically don't get to do so for long unless they have the power to enforce it.
Oh, what have we gotten ourselves into?
We shall soon find out.
So you ride over. And when you pull up, as you enter this particular part of the neighborhood, you do see the one-eyed K symbols in numerous places. Now, for you, Lamar, who've been working to push the gangs out of the south side, it's rather upsetting because you've heard nothing of this. And this is an area you were trying to put some influence. You didn't realize you had a blind spot. But it's painfully obvious there is. And doesn't seem to be a lot of homeless on the street or gang members. But when you get to this address, it's an old warehouse. Looks been abandoned for years. But there are two guys standing out front. Just standing by the doors. Ma'am, you sure? I hate questioning you, ma'am, but I get a bad feeling.
I understand. I pass him a card that has Philip's number. If there's trouble, call.
Yes, ma'am. I'll keep the car out front.
Thank you.
And you get out. As you approach these doors, one of the men steps in front of them. Can I help you? There's a blankness on his face, though, as he says it.
Jacqueline Durand, Lamar Cade, Destiny Star Jones, Roscoe Akers, Eleanor Thurston, and Jonathan Berkley, arriving as summoned.
He nods. Very well. He opens the door. And when he opens the door, the first thing that strikes you is the oddest thing you expected to see. There is a man standing there in robes of some sort with a long staff in his hand, with a metal butt at the bottom. And he's standing there in a very formal position on the other side of the door. Thank you for coming. Follow me, please.
I follow.
And you're led into this large warehouse. And you can see in the distance what appears to have been once a dumpster that has been bashed, changed, bent, and turned into a mockery of a throne. There's an individual sitting on the throne. He is not in good shape. I'm going to share the picture, of course. Missing all the hair on his head. It's burnt off. You can clearly from even across the room see he's missing an eye. Burnt mass of scars there. He's got burn wounds over most of his body. And as you approach, the man with the staff slams the butt of it on the ground, announcing Jacqueline Durand, Lamar Cade, Destiny Jones, Roscoe Akers, Eleanor Thurston, and Jonathan Berkley, as summoned, my lord.
And as he announces, Jacqueline will do a full court curtsy.
As will I, on my name being.
The voice that comes out belies the damage you see. It's a very strong, even voice. Approach.
I do.
Destiny follows.
Mm-hmm. Mar will be behind Jackie to the left.
So, hell is empty and the devils are all here. Welcome to my kingdom.
Thank you for the welcome.
So, we have business to attend. And you can see in the shadows around you, there are numerous people.
Mm-hmm.
50 or 60 hanging way back from him. But you can tell that there's a actual court watching him. And now that you're close enough, you realize that he has a crown kind of perched at an angle on his head. It's kind of leaned way back. It's a Burger King crown.
I am going to roll.
To resist?
to maintain my composure.
I figured somebody would want to roll to try to prevent from laughing.
Yeah.
Is the Burger King crown a fresh one or is it like ratty?
It's actually fresh tonight.
Okay.
And the absurdity of it does strike everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Here is a half-burnt individual. You don't know if he's alive or dead, but the amount of scarring and burns on him is rather impressive. Wearing a crown on his head with a formal court announcer and a court around him on a throne made of a trash can.
Mara wants to laugh, but he's got 50 or 60 people buying into this bullshit, it seems. Probably gonna let Jackie do the talking here.
I do offer my apologies. I'm not certain how I should address you.
Well, my lord is fine. You can call me Your Majesty.
Your Majesty, it is.
You wish, my liege.
Your Majesty, it is. So, Your Majesty, what business would you have with us?
Well, I am curious. You know, she's not using the royal we, though, with all his talk.
Mm-mm.
I am curious. Why have you been given domain in my city?
Domain was granted by Prince Kevin Jackson.
I know of him. For now, it's fine. He sits where he does. All the world's a stage. All the men and women are merely players. They have their exits and entrances. One man in time plays many parts, and that is his. This is mine. And you hear from the people around you, they're stomping their feet on the floor as like almost applause when he says it. So, I am curious. Is Nikolai still Primogen? Now, for you, Jonathan and Roscoe, you know for sure who Nikolai he's talking about. That is the former regent and Primogen, Abraham's sire.
Sadly, he is not.
And who authorized that?
Well, what I know is why he was replaced.
As far as you know, it was overly scheming, and Jackson, he actually was sent away to Vienna and was caught when Vienna fell.
The court of this city sent him. He was replaced.
Interesting.
There is currently no Tremere Primogen on the council.
Very odd. Very odd.
Agreed.
It fills me with disappointment in how my city is run. Or as I say now, is the winter of my discontent. You seem knowledgeable. I have a use for you in my kingdom. Would you serve your king?
What use would that be, Your Majesty?
Nothing major. I wish to know more on the comings and goings of the kindred of this city. I have many eyes. And when he says eyes, once again, the court surrounding stomps their feet. As if he just made a joke of some kind. And while they see much, they do not get a peek into the inner workings. I wish to know of the things I cannot. I wish to know what Khalid is doing. Destiny, you recognize that name. That is the Nosferatu Primogen. I wish to know what Annabelle is doing. I wish to know what Alan, Kevin are doing. As well as Horatio. I know you don't have this tonight. Watch. Pay attention. My people will contact you.
I will serve in this way. Your Majesty.
As for your friends, are you also to be my subjects?
We follow our leader, and he points to Jackie.
I apologize. Allow me to introduce myself properly to Your Majesty. Jacqueline Durand, begat by Nolan Wilhelm, begat by Queen Anne Bowsley of London, begat by Valeris, begat by Bendusara.
Formal greeting. Interesting. Lineage matters little now, though, as you can see.
Indeed. But the weight of it taught me well.
I have been taught, listen to many, speak to few. Do as I ask, and you will benefit. Do not, and we shall have a war.
There is no need for war, Your Majesty.
Then we shall not cry havoc, shall we? And once again, the stomping starts. Good. Go, please, now.
She gives a full court curtsy again and turns to leave.
And as you turn to leave, he starts muttering to himself, almost like some sort of firm grip of control he had over himself when you first arrived has slipped. He's kind of scratching at his scars and his wounds and muttering. And as you're once again taken to his, well, the only way to describe it would be a herald. Matter of fact, you haven't seen that kind of formal announcement done by kindred or to kindred since the court of Queen Anne. And I will let, Destiny, are you using heightened senses as you're leaving? Which sense are you using?
I would have had my ears heightened.
As you're being led out, chamber, or his herald, you are very lucky. He was in a coherent mood tonight. Be careful, some nights he is not. The crown weighs heavy on his head.
Thank you.
As you're leaving, Destiny, you hear him calling out, Kevin, Alan, attend to me. Yes, Eleanor.
As we are leaving, I'm going to turn to the herald and I'm going to say, excuse me, I noticed that His Majesty seems to be very fond of William Shakespeare. Do you happen to know if His Majesty has a favorite play?
He does. Hamlet.
Oh, it is a good one. Thank you, sir.
Betrayal of a king weighs heavy on him.
I wondered if perhaps he might also find the very themes the same in Richard II.
He does. Loves quoting from those books. Most of us have learned to please him.
Let us sit upon the ground and tell sad stories of the deaths of kings.
I have wasted time, and now time doth waste me. You must leave.
And
Yes.
we depart.
The minute that we're away from the Herald, Destiny under her breath says, last scene of all that ends this strange eventful history is second childishness and mere oblivion.
And you're led, you'll be saying that in the car because the Herald actually led you straight to the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're a fan too, Destiny.
Of course, I was an actress. I am an actress.
And when you get in the vehicle, Etienne immediately puts the barrier, opens the doors, and lets you in. And when he sits inside, he lowers the barrier. Ma'am, they didn't mess with the vehicle, but they didn't blink.
I know.
They've been staring at me the whole time.
I know. Take us back.
Yes, ma'am. And I turn the scene to the players.
People always quote the beginning of that soliloquy, but they never
quote the end.
finish the end. He is mad.
Yes.
Like I just walked out of a sitcom with a laugh track.
Did anyone
Except
catch
while
what he was
stomping.
muttering?
As we left,
Yeah.
About having Kevin attend him.
Didn't catch that, Roscoe.
You didn't catch that,
Only
Roscoe?
Destiny did.
Oh,
She had
Yeah.
heightened senses up because I
Oh,
know she
okay.
uses it constantly.
he was demanding that Kevin attend him.
Kevin.
Yes, Kevin.
Anyone else?
Who was the second person?
Alan.
And Alan. Kevin and Alan attend me, is what he was muttering as we were walking out.
But didn't he?
And you
Wanna
legit
know?
see a look of fear on Jackie's face.
Jackie, what's
Jackie?
wrong?
Richard II.
What is dead should say dead.
What did we get ourselves into, Jackie? Eleanor?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening here.
I reach over to Jackie and grab her hand.
I know who that is.
Who is it?
Can you share with the class?
That is Loden.
Loden.
Do any of these motherfuckers stay dead? Any of them?
Now I'm going to ask Jackie because she needs to explain why she feels it's Loden to make sure
He
it's
is
not the meta.
mad. He is injured. He was attacked by fucking lupine and burned. He was thought to be dead. His childer. He had 10 of them. Kevin, one of them. Alan, childer of his child.
And you know who Horatio would be.
And Horatio is his child.
Horatio Ballard.
You don't really think it's... I mean, if somehow he did survive all
Lamar,
that, why
how
not?
hard is it to kill a Ventru?
Okay, I get that. I 100% get that, but why not step back up and take what's his instead of letting Jackson...
He's
sneak in?
mad.
So that wasn't some kind of act to play with us or anything.
Oh no.
Again,
Oh, fuck. He thinks he still rules.
which also begs the question if he is claiming Praxis. what
Oh
does
no, he
have on
hasn't
his
claimed
side?
Praxis. He's just never given it up.
You know,
By the looks of it, a lot of people seem to agree with him. They were in
Yes,
there
but-
attending him.
What
How
are the
many
odds? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
how many kindred are on his side? We know he has the homeless.
And what are the odds that this is all going on under Kevin Jackson's nose and he has no clue about it? Because
I think he's a little bit more preoccupied with the lupines at the moment. It is the bigger threat.
Loden was considered an abject failure. This city burned and was rended asunder under lupine claws on his watch. Jackson is doing everything he can to prevent history from repeating itself.
But if what you're saying is true, he survived. He's a few sandwiches short of a picnic, and he's got an army. He's got at least a sizable contingent of people who are willing to follow his word. I mean, might not be enough to take things back, but he's going to piss on everybody's parade. And we're caught right in the middle of this BS, and he wants us to bring it.
Does make me wonder why he's so aggressive towards Annabelle. Did she perhaps have something to do with his downfall?
I mean, are we going to do what he says? He might not even remember who we are the next time
I know.
we see him.
He said he'd send someone. We can pass word through his intermediaries. Hopefully that can be a buffer.
For now.
And I mean, are you really going to inform on your clanmates to this guy?
Well, let's see, Lamar, considering they put a great big target on my ass with that domain. Perhaps.
What actual power does he have? I mean, it's one thing for a raving madman to claim that everyone should serve him, but, is he really powerful and a threat that we need to work with?
Well,
We need to at least give him something to appease him. To prevent further incidents in our domain.
Agreed with that, yeah, sure.
and he survived lupine. If it's him, he survived a lupine attack that should have completely taken him off the board. That's a morale booster for some people, or
Yes, it is.
True.
Anybody who doesn't like how
This
Jackson's
does
doing
not
things.
leave this car.
Understood.
Agreed?
Agreed.
Agreed.
Question for the ST. Do I know where the former Primogen of Clan Premier's territory was?
He had the same that the current
The out of town?
Primogen. Yeah.
Question, did Jonathan agree?
And did Destiny agree?
And did Destiny agree?
Destiny is staring out the window.
I'm not
Destiny,
leaving. It's not leaving the
Jonathan?
car.
It does not leave this car.
This info.
This
We're
info
cutting out.
does-
But if we
Repeated.
could- I think we should drive through Chinatown. I have an idea. Just drive through, not stop.
What idea do you
I just want
have
to see.
that we drive through forbidden territory?
We can drive through. We just can't do anything stupid.
Destiny,
I
do
think
you
that-
agree that it does not leave this car?
What?
Please don't.
Sorry, I was just a lot of information tonight.
Mm-hmm. That last little bit does not leave this car.
Which part was the last little bit? I wasn't really listening to the conversation. I'm sorry.
A lot of silence in the vehicle.
Is she lying?
Find my mouse. Gotta wait for her to roll, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
What
You're
do
gonna
I need to
roll,
roll?
Composure, subterfuge. And you have a bonus die you can roll because you have impeccable lies.
I already did.
Yep. Oh, tie after the willpower. Uncertain with a tie. You don't know for sure either way. Which is different from knowing for sure she's not lying and different from knowing she is lying.
If you ask me to share with the class and I do share and then I hear it spread around like wildfire because of the Nosferatu network, I will be very upset.
I have made promises.
I understand. It is convincing to say he believes he is a king. But you to make your choices. You make your choices.
Starting to wonder if you know who knew about this, Jax.
Jax? Is that my new name now? Who knows? This city is such a shit pile.
You know what? I agree with you. I now agree with you on that. Full stop.
So does anyone tell Etienne to drive through Chinatown?
What is the plan, Jonathan?
I just want to see if there's an increased presence of his people there. I have a feeling that all of his former attendants will have an increased presence of homeless in that area.
Okay, so I'll tell Etienne to drive through Chinatown on the way back to...
Where are you going back? Are you going straight there, or is Destiny being dropped anywhere? Because I know Destiny had
Do you want to be
plans.
dropped off somewhere, Destiny?
Yeah, here's fine. I'll call an Uber.
Okay.
Because I know Destiny had expressed to me she has somebody she wishes to go see tonight. So Destiny goes, I assume you're taking your normal precautions, or are you too...
I'm too shook up. I'm going straight there just the way I am.
Okay. So Destiny leaves the vehicle while she's riding over there. We're going to do a little bit here with Jackie, Lamar, and everyone. You drive into Chinatown. Now, you're, of course, nervous because you do know that Chinatown is technically forbidden, but you also know that they look away from that and don't enforce it, provided you follow the rules and do not do any kindred-related activities or interfere in the operations of Chinatown. You also know the last ones who broke that was sent to Kevin Jackson, skinned, unable to heal, and bleeding all the blood that they drank out of them until they
I do
died.
tell Etienne he is not to stop. He is merely to pass through.
Yes, ma'am. As you go through Chinatown, no one-eyed K symbols. As you enter Chinatown, thing feels odd. And Eleanor, the amulet gets warm as you cross the boundary into the official section of Chinatown.
I will look concerned.
But no vision hits you.
Okay.
Are there a lot of homeless or no?
No. Not many at all. Lamar, you recognize several gang activity related type things going on. But homeless, not many. No one-eyed K symbols. No general homeless, which is also strikes you again as odd. Because it should have some. Everywhere in the city has some, well, so far, except for Succubus Club. But as you pull through it, the amulet ceased to be warm once you crossed the other border and left Chinatown. I'm pretty sure everybody in the vehicle could see Eleanor's face as she went through this, because I can see it.
Yeah.
What?
May have even seen her grabbing at one of her skirt pockets.
What's the matter, Eleanor?
I think we may have been seen, watched.
Of course we won't.
By magic? Of a kind?
Watched where? In any of
How
these
long?
places?
The whole time?
In Chinatown.
In Chinatown, passing over the border until we left.
It's kind of side off topic, but something we need to consider. Who knows who saw us go to see the One-Eyed King tonight too? Just something to keep in mind. We're not going to talk about it, but someone will.
There are like 50 or 60 people in there. How many of? How can we be sure? Do we know how many of them might have been regulars anywhere else we tend to show up? Can't help thinking, though, if anybody really knew, what was going on over there, if they knew about it and they were loyal to Jackson, they're either they didn't make it out of there, they wouldn't make it out of there, or they've already given that information to someone who knows what to do with it.
Exactly.
Or someone who knows, or who might be keeping it quiet. We don't really know who knows about this. There's no way to know without tipping our hand.
The simple truth is, I said what would get us out of there with our unlives. We were outmanned, outgunned, and in a precarious position. I'm sure I'll be able to get some intelligence on some upper court members from time to time. I have certain plans that I'm working towards to ensure I get in certain circles. But it was legitimately a move to save us all. Because we would not have walked out of there had I not done that.
I agree.
Agreed. What are we going to do in the meantime, then? Where are we going to put our focus in the meantime, then?
Well, it looks like I need to find a way to get an invite to the Blue Velvet.
So the coterie returns to taking their drive to the steakhouse. We're going to flash to Destiny, and we'll come back to the coterie for one final scene after Destiny meets with her friend. And you take the Uber to the tent city. And as always, when you take an Uber to the tent city, the driver's once again expressing concern. Miss, you sure this is where you want to go?
Community service, just...
Yes, ma'am. Whatever you say. Just be careful. I've heard bad things about this place.
Thank you. I appreciate your concern.
Okay. And you're let off at Tent City.
She gets out and slams the car door, not intentionally, but she definitely closes it harder than she normally would, and she just starts beelining straight towards where Wineka's bench is.
And as you enter, somebody steps in front of you. It's one you've seen running up to Wineka more than once. Slow down. You seem upset.
I've had a night. I have info. Please let me through.
You are expected, but I've also been told to remind you of where you are. And he steps out from in front of you.
Destiny looks at him and like straightens her back, takes a deep breath, and like glares at him.
Doesn't seem to make him twitch at all. He just looks you dead in the eye and just stares right back, which is odd because he's never done that in the past.
Please move out of my way.
He steps aside and just puts his arm towards the bench. And tonight, the tent city is different than you remember. It's almost as if there's a line of homeless to each side. The rows are closer to the walk path you normally take. It's a lot more of the his community paying attention. And you can feel all the eyes on you. And as you get to the bench, nobody runs up to him. He's just sitting there. I expected you, pretty Nos.
Good to see you too, Picasso.
Always good to see you. But I expected you. Have you calmed down a bit?
Do you even know why I wasn't calm?
I don't know for sure, but I suspect that your friends told you about their visit. And Bobby told me that Mr. Lamar Cade, Templar Cade, to be precise, saw him driving the van. So please, step around the bench and have a seat. I suspect you have questions. But please, let's do so in a civilized manner. Violence has already been committed tonight. Let's not amplify it.
As you wish. And as she's saying this, she goes around the bench and she sat down.
And as you sit down, he looks over at you briefly, and there's a gleam in his eye and a look on his face you're not used to seeing. Tonight he looks a lot more feral, a lot more of a monster than you're used to seeing in him. He normally has a bit of a better veneer at hiding what he really is, but it's obvious tonight on his face.
My first question. What game are you playing?
The one I always play. The game to win. To survive. The one I've tried to teach you.
And I've listened and I've learned, but if I do not know that there is a game that you are teaching me, for sure, if I don't know for sure, then what do you expect me to do?
The best lessons are learned when you don't realize you're being taught. Now, I know you have better questions than that. You know what I am and what I do. What game is being played was, I have saved you, and I have saved Martin. And I have done it in a way to make sure that you remain safe.
Why are you sending visions to Eleanor?
I am not.
Who is then? Why did she hear your laugh at the end of her vision?
I do not know I did not know she heard my laugh. What vision did she see?
She saw a chess piece being moved.
And he actually looks out over the lake. That was not me. I do not know what is playing games with your prophet.
Is he lying?
You can roll.
That's wits.
You can
awareness?
go wits insight, actually.
Insight.
Mm-hmm.
Can I use my bonus?
What is your bonus in?
Secrets.
Go ahead.
3 successes.
Doesn't appear to be lying. Neither I, nor anyone I represent or work with, to my knowledge, has sent anything. I wouldn't even know how that fucking works.
Do I see anything in the lake?
It's odd. What do? How do you look at the lake, Annie?
I am going to look in the lake and I'm going to turn on heightened senses of my eyes.
You do catch a brief glimpse of something out there. Maybe 10 feet. Based on the distance you can judge, 10 feet tall. Dark. Can't make out much other than that. A large humanoid shape. It is humanoid. And you could actually almost feel it looking back at you before you lose sight of it.
Neka?
What?
I thought that we'd decided that you were just going to get information on Delilah.
You understand. Clan before sect. I will not let that fucking fop Annabelle destroy.
But why? What information were you given? They didn't tell me anything. What
would you like to know? Do you really want this particular answer to come from me? Are you sure? Think hard before you have me answer.
Where else would it come from?
Are you sure you want me to tell you my feelings on this subject? Because I'm not sure you want to hear what I have to say.
You've told me things I haven't wanted to hear before. Why is this information different?
You don't realize, you've never realized just what I am, just who I am and what I do. Before I accepted you to be under my tutelage, I studied you, researched you, learned everything I could about you. I looked into Martin, I learned what I could about him. Now, I knew you were not Delilah's. I know you are not Toreador. Now, would you like me to continue? Because I can go into more detail than that. But do you want me to?
Will you please tell me what changed your mind? Because Delilah was the best shot I had at passing easily. If you knew I wasn't Toreador, then why would you change your mind?
Because I did not want her to destroy Martin. I will not allow that fucking trollop Annabelle to destroy a member of our clan, a member who is useful, a member who contributes. And as much as I like you, I will be frank. You are as close as a friend as I'll have, but Like in everything, you are one of the tools. Now, I don't know how you avoided the curse the rest of us have. But let me tell you, it was done for you and it was done for him. We protect ours. The sooner you remember that, the sooner you show what you're part of, the better. To those out there, it does not matter. You can be Torador. But to us, you are who you are.
Can you please? What information? Why was it so important that you protect Martin? Will you please
He was
just
lying
say it?
about
Because
who your
you've been
son-
dancing around it, and I think I know what it is, but I need to know.
Martin is your sire. He was
I know
lying
he's
about
my
who embraced
sire.
you. He lied about it. He lied about it to the city. He lied about it to Kevin Jackson. He lied about it to Annabelle. Do you know what the penalty for that is? Do you understand what they would do to you and him? There is only one punishment. They would introduce you to the sun. They would introduce him to the sun. They do not forgive that. Torador never forgive that. Even Ventru won't forgive that. Have you not heard the story of Vitel? He claimed to clan it was not him, and they sent Archons and Justicars to destroy him. They did not negotiate, they did not ask, they did not look at his worth. They destroyed him. I would not have that happen to you or to Martin. Understand.
Wineka, my friend, please. I appreciate what you've done. Martin said that if she ever needed to get taken away or destroyed, she wouldn't come back this time when I spoke to him. Can you please just... Did Martin put the hit out on Delilah the first time? Please.
And there is the secret that must be kept. You know the answer. I've just answered it. That must be kept.
So Delilah was 100% going to embrace me that night.
Yes. You see, when I had you investigated, before I accepted you, I had a talk with Martin. And Martin is very good at things, but he's not good enough to lie to me. He's not good enough to hide what I wanted to know from me. I got the story out of him. And in return, you were accepted to learn, to teach you the skills you need to survive, to teach you what you need to be what you claim, and not be forced to live in the sewers, in the catacombs, or in the middle of the homeless tents. His reasons are his, not mine. I did not care the reason. All I cared is to know what I was working with. Do not worry. You will not see Miss Delilah again. Would you like her brooch? And he actually pulls out of inside of his jacket that he's got a brooch that she wore.
I show up with this brooch.
A gift she gave you. You were her cupbearer. You were her cupbearer last night at the Blue Velvet. We were watching, and the moment you were clear where you would not be implicated, I struck. This time, I'm afraid she won't make a return in 10 years.
Thank you.
And he points to a spot on the ground by the shore of the lake. If you wish, you can go see the residue that she left. I watched her with my eyes. Her men will be found with claw marks floating in the lake. It seems the lupine have their first casualty of our kind.
Okay. Yeah. That is clean. That's, yeah.
You knew what kind of monster I am.
I knew what kind of monster you were. I just wish that maybe someone would have clued me in. However, I understand the necessity of keeping me in the dark, and it's not like I've been around recently anyway.
I did what you couldn't. I did what Martin couldn't. I did what your friend Jackie couldn't. I did what Temple Arcade couldn't. Now, I won't claim I did it for them. Templar and Jackie, I did do it for you, for Martin, and for Clan Nosferatu.
Clan before sect.
It's correct. We always watch out for our own. We take care of our own because no one else in this damn world does. They make us live in the sewers, catacombs, in the tents. They come to us for information but look down their noses at us like we're nothing. We're the monsters. Sometimes I have to remind others of what kind of monsters we could be if we chose. And in this case, sometimes you have to do what must be done to protect yours. I'm sorry this comes as a shock. This side of me, you haven't seen this part before.
It's been a shocking evening. When I got here, I'd actually almost forgotten the first reason why I was coming here.
It wasn't just that.
No. My coterie and I, we were summoned tonight to the court of One-Eye K.
Interesting. Now that is interesting. Now what did you learn?
He's a madman. Quotes Shakespeare. He wears a Burger King crown. He sends people out to get Burger King crowns because the one he was wearing was not tattered. It was fresh.
Madman, for sure. But all kings must have a crown.
Yeah.
And where was he located?
I'd tell the exact address of where he was.
Good. I can use that. Anything else you found?
He is convinced he rules. But like I said, madman.
He would be a madman. To think he runs a city. This is Kevin Jackson's city.
Indeed.
And as long as I'm around, I will ensure it remains Kevin Jackson's city. Or at least till someone better shows up.
He asked for the coterie to provide information on the various Primogens. Is this something that I can do without endangering our working relationship?
Pretty Nos, I've been teaching you to do as I do. Broker the information, but never give more than you receive. Always weight the deals in your favor. And remember the very first lesson. Sometimes it's what information you don't give them that was the most valuable.
I'm taking your lessons. I'm learning.
Good. I have hopes for you to be the one who breaks free of this that isn't like us. I don't care what your bloodline is. And aside from a mild curiosity about why you are a pretty Nos, does not matter. What I've always cared about is that you remember your loyalties. Clan before sect.
Clan before sect. Waneka,
Yes.
what's in the lake?
Something older than you could ever understand. Something stronger than any of us here. And something, if you are smart, you will not oppose. But I assure you, it did not send a vision to your friend.
How can you assure that to me?
Because it told me.
Is he lying?
Go ahead and try to roll.
I have no idea.
Zero
I don't
successes. That was the biggest pile of truth you've ever heard in your life. I will let you know it bears you no direct ill will. It just has its own grudges to settle. As do we all.
Okay.
Good night, pretty Nos. And for what it's worth, I'm sorry it came to this tonight. And I'm sorry I had to destroy Delilah. But I would do it again. And I would do it again each night to protect what we are.
Waneka, can I beg a favor of you?
You can beg, you can ask.
She reaches into her bag and she grabs out the pool cue with the cat statue on the top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Could you have someone bring this to Martin for me?
Of course. Would you
Thank you.
like a message sent with it?
At this point in time, I don't know what message I could send to him.
I will have it
He
sent.
denied me a high clam. But
Do
clam
not
before
judge him.
sect.
Do not judge him until you hear his side. Do not judge him unless you know all the information. And then make your decision. And remember, the heat of emotions twists your logic.
I don't know that my emotions are twisting my logic at this point.
Find
My
out
logic
his
is
side.
sound.
Find out his side first. Even I never got his reasons.
I won't do that tonight.
Now that is smart.
Just have someone deliver that statue and give him one message. Tell him I know.
Of course. Have a good night, Pertinos.
Have a good night, Picasso.
And tell your seer friend that I said,
I'll do what you ask.
And now we flash to the rest of the coterie for the final scene of the night. You're arrived back at the steakhouse. Destiny is nowhere to be seen, of course. But you've had an interesting night, and here you are to talk about what happened.
Just so you all are aware, I do not plan to actually sell out the Primogens and Clan Ventru wholesale.
Of course not.
I will
Well, you-
protect
You say
valuable insights and information because I do not trust anyone.
I think if we just feed him mundane information, it'll suffice.
Indeed.
If there's movement going on, that's all that matters.
Indeed.
Yeah, that works. Meanwhile, we figure out what to do with all the rest of
Hmm.
the city's bullshit. By the way, Jackie,
Yes.
I'm having that shit framed.
Of course you are. Oh. Mm-mm-mm. Eleanor, are you okay?
Yes, it's been a night.
It's been a week.
Also a month,
That
or
too.
2 months.
Oh,
But I'm all right, thank you.
good. I'm glad to hear it.
And I think this is where we're going to end this episode. It's longer than I expected it to be, but we needed to have Destiny have her speak with Wineka. And this coterie have walked away with this particular night with a whole lot of unanswered questions, answers that aren't what they expected, and answers they did not like. And for one member in particular, two members in particular for this coterie, one wonders about an amulet given to her by Ben, and why did it go warm without a vision in Chinatown? And the other finds out something she suspected about her sire, or her adoptive sire. And someone has known. And it now explains why she was always called the Pretty Noss. And I'd like to thank the players for what is an amazing episode. Some great scenes in general with this. If you like what we're doing here, please give us a follow on Twitch. Give us a subscribe if you really like. Bits, donations, they go to the players. Now, let's talk about some XP stuff. Last episode, as I pointed out, if I get a lot of people voting, guess what happens?
So all y'all tuning in, make sure you are a member of our Discord and go vote in Chi-Town chat, because the more people vote, the more people get XP, and you get to shape the story that way because our characters develop based on XP that you help us get.
And because we had a large number of votes again this week, I'm going to give it to everybody. Sorry, Destiny, you weren't there, so you don't get it. Because again, when I see multiple votes for multiple people, but I will say, Jacqueline, Lamar, and Eleanor, I'm going to give you one extra on top of that. You three got a lot of good votes, but so you three get 2, and then 1 to Roscoe, 1 to Jonathan. And of course, we get our normal 2 for this session. Now, please go, if you're a viewer, go vote. As you can see, I hand out XP a little more freely than I do in the game itself based on viewer engagement. It's my way of encouraging you all to vote and the players to get the viewer engagement. So please check out our friends list over here, whole list of people. We like them. We don't just put them over there because we know them. We only put channels over there that we like the content they're delivering. So check them out. Macabre Derek has done his move, so he's back online. So check him out too. Oh, check. You want to see our back content? YouTube, right over there. Same thing. Give us a subscribe on YouTube. That's free. So we like that. I know I'm forgetting a whole bunch of stuff. We have merch. This is Windy City
merch.
Windy City has merch. The movie poster and break, we have merch for that.
Yep.
We got a mug. Has all the cast on it.
Yep.
Got that for merch.
Yep.
Check it out. I'm going to let my wife handle whatever I've forgotten before I do the outro.
Check out our friends list. I'm not sure if he mentioned that. Okay, you did that. Okay. Upcoming schedule. We have this episode is airing on the 14th. So tomorrow, I'm not sure if Tam finished off stuff or not. I'll probably find that out tonight, later on, or tomorrow.
So maybe stuffed?
Maybe stuffed on Onyx Path, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe those mortals were able to save Chicago. I doubt it, but we'll see. On Tuesday, we have Haunted Chronicles at 8 p.m. Eastern. That is going to be episode 7 of season 3 with them. And tune in because that is a dark, twisty, timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly, weird-ass story that is awesome with an amazing cast. Mandy is also in that Destiny here or over here.
Apparently, somehow I got roped into being a spy again. Apparently, I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
Because you are a sneaky snake.
Yeah, apparently.
More of the secret square.
Yeah.
Apparently.
It's a good show.
It's a very good show. Tune in to see that. It is actually a Chronicles of Darkness game, so you'll want to tune in to see that on Tuesday the 16th at 8 p.m. Eastern. Wraith Life Derailed Season 2, Episode 8 is at 8 p.m. on Wednesday. Y'all.
Almost done. We're going to get 10 episodes in the season.
I know, but this afterlife fucking sucks. Roscoe down there and I can attest, this afterlife fucking sucks.
It's truth. It sucks.
It fucking blows.
And then we have,
but it's such a good game and good story.
I know Saturday we have Ishvel back though.
And yep, Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern is our D&D 5e stream. These heroes are in our Norse-inspired D&D stream are trying to pursue pieces of a ancient staff to defeat the big bad guy.
And you get to see the other half of the lifesaver.
Yeah.
He's in it.
Yeah. Her husband, Bovasaur's in that.
Yep.
He's Torvald. We have a mug for him in our merch store as well.
Torvald's Gut Punch.
Torvald's Gut Punch. Yep. He plays a dwarf, and it's
He's
awesome.
got an amazing beard going.
Yes.
It's knit, but it's still amazing.
It's so fucking epic. So that's at 3 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, the 20th. And then again on the 21st, Sunday, we will be back with episode 5 of season 2 of Windy City After Dark at 5 p.m.
Halfway point.
Yep.
Halfway.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say thank you to the players. I think this was a good episode. It wasn't as disjointed as the other one. We got to have whole coterie scenes this time, so we like that. And in the immortal words of Chops, please, mental health is no laughing matter. It's no joking matter. Check in on your friends. Check in on your family. Please check in on loved ones. And make sure they're okay, because not everybody is okay right now, especially with what's going on in the world. And if you are somebody who has problems with mental health or struggle with just getting through the day sometimes, please reach out to somebody, talk to somebody, because you can't always carry it alone, and that's what we're here for. Even as this group of kindred who are walking monsters will tell you, it's the connections they have with each other that gets them through the night. So from McStabber Studios and the cast here and this whole family and community we've built, thank you. And good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.